A new set of court documents was just released in the Gina Carano vs. Disney lawsuit. And in these documents, it has a list of names of people that probably are going to be called to testify. I mean, look at this headline from The Hollywood Reporter. Gina Carano calls for Pedro Pascal, Kathleen Kennedy to testify over Mandalorian firing. And there's some other people on that list as well, and we're going to go over it. But before we do, could you please do me a massive favor and hit that subscribe button? It's just a free thing you could do that helps out the channel. And besides, I'm going to bring you every little ounce of information from this court case, so you might as well be subscribed if you want to keep up with Gina versus Disney. Now let's get into it. Gina Carano's legal battle over her firing from The Mandalorian could feature a star-studded cast of witnesses, including Pedro Pascal, Jon Favreau, and ex-Disney chief executive Bob Chapek. This also goes on to say that Carano pointed to those names as potential witnesses that could be called to testify in her case. She also included Bear Grylls, Kathleen Kennedy, and Lynn Hale. Here's the court documents right here. Here are all the names listed. Could you imagine if they were able to get Bob Chapek, Kathleen Kennedy, Jon Favreau, all these people together in the courtroom to tell all as to what's going on? Now, the article clears up as to why certain individuals on this list are being called into court. And that's something that some of you might not know. Like, why in the world would Bear Grylls be called into court? And we'll go over all that in the article. Going back to the article, it says another contested issue is whether Carano was treated differently than her male co-stars. Yeah, this is where Pedro Pascal comes into play. It says she pointed to Pascal's 2017 post comparing former President Donald Trump to the guy over there that used to be in charge of Germany way back in World War II. Other posts from Pascal cited in the lawsuit included one of him comparing the United States' response to those entering the country illegally to Germany's concentration camps. Yeah, so she's like, hey, this is your main guy. He's posting political stuff and nothing happened to him. I posted something on an Instagram story that was deleted in 24 hours, and this is why you fired me? Or was it the beep bop boop thing? You know, you fired me for putting droid pronouns in my Twitter bio. But look what he's comparing a former president to. Nothing happened to him, huh? So, Pedro Pascal. Next up is Jon Favreau. He will probably be called to testify on whether Disney greenlit plans for the spin-off series Rangers of the New Republic that would feature Gina Carano's Cara Dune as one of its lead characters. Kennedy in 2020 confirmed production of the title. So that's probably why Kennedy will be there. It's like, no, we had no future plans for Cara Dune, so we just let her go. You put an entire series together around her character, and you, Kathleen Kennedy, confirmed it. Then you're going to come out and say, yeah, we were kind of done with the character. That's it. No big deal. We're moving on. So absolutely, that will be huge. If Jon Favreau's like, yeah, I got it right here. Here's the whole series. And Kennedy said go with it, but then she changes her tune. Nah, come on. Come on. That alone will be big. Bear Grylls may be called to testify over allegations that Disney pulled an episode of Running Wild with Bear Grylls that featured Carano after she was terminated. A lot of you might not remember or even heard of this story. Now, this is a huge shout out to YouTubers and people on the internet who cracked this story. What happened was, while she was still employed with Lucasfilm, Gina Carano filmed an episode of Running Wild with Bear Grylls. That, of course, airs on National Geographic. National Geographic is owned by Disney. When Gina was fired, there was this push to kind of erase Gina from existence. And people noticed, some YouTubers noticed, that on the list of episodes that hers just magically disappeared. Like the title of it just kind of disappeared. It just said Bear Grylls. That was it. There was no listing that it was Gina's episode or anything else. Now, all the other episodes had the name of the celebrity that was hanging out with Bear Grylls. Hers just magically disappeared. Well, many of us, including me, and this was one of my biggest tweets ever, we tweeted at Bear Grylls and was like, hey, what's the deal here? Why is Gina's episode not airing? Why was it suddenly removed? Explain. A lot of people were tagging him in that. A lot of support was coming Gina's way. And he reached out to whoever he reached out and said, put this episode back on. Like, why would you remove it? We worked hard on this episode. This makes no sense. And he fought to get that put back on. And it was put back on. I remember I did a watch party here for it on the channel. And it was a great episode. I think Gina ate worms or something on that. Maggots, something. You never know with Bear Grylls, right? And so that was a big deal of Disney's trying to erase anything Gina Carano from their existence. There's also other things out there of an artist who was painting this portrait. I have a video on that too. It's on the channel. Was painting this portrait of Mandalorian Season 2. And halfway through it, you could see Gina Carano. Cara Dune was right on there. He tweeted out, he didn't even realize that it would make such a big noise. People were like, hey, wasn't Cara Dune on this before? Why was it changed? He goes, I just got a call from Lucasfilm and they asked me to replace Cara Dune with Ahsoka. So I'm just an artist. I'm just doing what I get paid to do. And that went nuclear. YouTubers and everyone else came and said, look, this is Disney. This is Disney trying to erase Cara Dune. There was even stories out there. They were pulling all her toys off the shelf and people couldn't find them anywhere. And the more people were loud about it and making a stink about it and like, how could you do this? It's obvious what you're doing here, Lucasfilm. It is obvious what you're doing here, Kathleen Kennedy, to everyone. It made her character more popular. It made people get on the Gina Carano bandwagon and see justice being served. The article continues, says, in the filing, Disney pushed back on Carano's list of witnesses while saying that it may call Lucasfilm vice president of animation. Why would Lucasfilm's vice president of animation have anything to do with this trial? Anyway, well, the live action development and Disney's executive vice president of communications to testify. Communications, that could be like the Twitter post, maybe. I don't know. Who knows? But that sounds like none of these people have anything to do with the Mandalorian and this case. And I love the fact at the conclusion of this article, it states this: Carano potentially lost out on millions of dollars. Talking about the contract for Disney. Her salary would have started between $150 to $250K per episode, with each season possibly up to 10 episodes per season. So yeah, because of what they did to her, Gina Carano lost out on a lot. So with all that being said, do you think we could literally see Chapek, Kathleen Kennedy, Pedro, John, Bear Grylls all in the courtroom together? Like all just sitting there together like, I can't believe we're here. Can't believe this is happening, you know? Probably Chapek is going to laugh, you know? Maybe Chapek, this is his opportunity to spill the beans, spill the tea, whatever you want to call it, on everything that happened when he was there and how he got kicked out by Bob Iger. Maybe he's going to take this as an opportunity to go, please call me to the stand. I got a lot of things to say. This is what Kathleen Kennedy said. This is what he said. This is what they said. Of course, they kicked her out because of her politics. And Bob Iger does this to everybody. Look what he did to me. Blah. Oh, man, this could get wild. This could get wild because when you're called to court, he's got to tell the truth. I don't think the NDAs are if he signed an NDA agreement, I don't think he's allowed. I mean, I guess he could plead the fifth, but I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know. So somebody let me know in the comment section below. This is Jay, and we'll catch you next time.